Section 15 of Birds, Volume 1, Number 3, March 1897. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Jen Broda. The Common Crow. The crow doth sing as merry as the lark, when neither is attended. Few birds have more interesting characteristics than the common crow, being, in many of his actions, very like the raven, especially in his love for carrion. Like the raven, he has been known to attack game, although his inferior size forces him to call to his assistance the aid of his fellows to cope with larger creatures. Rabbits and hares are frequently the prey of this bird, which pounces on them as they steal abroad to feed. His food consists of reptiles, frogs, and lizards. He is a plunderer of other birds' nests. On the seashore he finds crabs, shrimps, and inhabited shells, which he ingeniously cracks by flying them to a great height and letting them fall upon a convenient rock. The crow is seen in single pairs, or in little bands of 4 or 5. In the autumn evenings, however, they assemble in considerable flocks before going to roost and make a wonderful chattering, as if comparing notes of the events of the day. The nest of the crow is placed in some tree remote from habitations of other birds. Although large and very conspicuous at a distance, it is fixed upon one of the topmost branches quite out of the reach of the hand of the adventurous urchin who longs to secure its contents. It is loosely made and saucer-shaped. Sticks and softer substances are used to construct it, and it is lined with hair and fibrous roots. Very recently, a thrifty and intelligent crow built for itself a summer residence in an airy tree near Bombay, the material used being gold, silver, and steel spectacle frames, which the bird had stolen from an optician of that city. 84 frames had been used for this purpose, and they were so ingeniously woven together that the nest was quite a work of art. The eggs are variable, or rather individual, in their markings and even in their size. The crow rarely uses the same nest twice, although he frequently repairs to the same locality from year to year. He is remarkable for his attachment to his mate and young, surpassing the fawn and the turtle-dove in conjugal courtesy. The Somali Arabs bear a deadly hatred toward the crow. The origin of their detestation is the superstition that during the flight of Mohammed from his enemies, he hid himself in a cave, where he was perceived by the crow, at that time a bird of light plumage, who, when he saw the pursuers approaching the spot, perched above Mohammed's hiding place, and screamed, "Gar, gar, cave, cave," so as to indicate the place of concealment. His enemies, however, did not understand the bird, and passed on, and Mohammed, when he came out of the cave, clothed the crow in perpetual black, and commanded him to cry, "Gar," as long as crows should live. And he lives to a good old age. Instances are not rare where he has attained to half a century without great loss of activity or failure of sight. At Red Bank, a few miles northeast of Cincinnati, on the Little Miami River, in the bottoms, large flocks of crows congregate the year around. A few miles away, high upon Walnut Hills, is a crow roost, and in the late afternoons the crows, singly, in pairs, and in flocks, are seen on the wing, flying heavily with full crops on the way to the roost, from which they descend in the early morning crying, "Caw, caw," to the fields of the newly planted, growing, or matured corn or corn stacks, as the season may provide. End of section 15.